All right, we need to talk about this. How many of you guys have seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you guys have seen it, what did you think about it? Because I'm seeing all these reviews all over the place. I think it's on IMDb, it's sitting at a 3%. No, on IMDb, it's sitting at a 2.9. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 3%. I'm seeing reviews saying this movie is the worst movie of all time. This movie was awesome. All right, this movie was really good. If you don't believe me, go watch it and see for yourself. I was watching this one review on YouTube. This guy was talking about how they didn't delve into any Winnie the Pooh lore. He was disappointed they didn't delve in any lore. Did he not watch the movie? They literally do that right at the beginning of the movie, starting from the very beginning of the movie. All right. If you guys haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. We'll start off with no spoilers, and then we'll jump into spoilers at the end of this video. So, what is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? It is a horror movie. It's a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. It's a slasher, and it does a slasher very well. The kills are insane. It's probably the most, yeah, it's the most gruesome kills I've seen in a slasher horror movie. The story flowed. The production was a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be looking at the design for Pooh and Piglet. You guys have seen the pictures and whatnot. It looks like a man in a Pooh costume, a man in a random pig costume, or a hog costume, or whatever. So I'm thinking like the production is going to be bad, the acting is going to be bad. No. They took this seriously. The guy who made this movie, he's got to be he's brave, man. He came up with this idea to take Winnie the Pooh and turn it into a horror movie, and then decided to put this kind of effort in. I thought it was great, man. I thought it was really good. It was worth it, man. It was worth it. I don't get all these reviews. 2.9, 3%. Nah, man. This needs to be way higher. And not only was it good, it was better than a whole lot of other slashers that I've watched. It's not just a mindless killing movie with a bunch of gore. There's intent behind the killing. There's lore there. There's emotion there, because if you've seen the trailer, you know Christopher Robin is involved. So that's not a spoiler. It's good, man. It's really good. If you're a Winnie the Pooh fan and you like horror, I saw in my previous video on this movie, a lot of people were upset that they're sort of disrespecting Winnie the Pooh by turning it into a horror movie. But relax. Just have fun with it, all right? It's an insane idea, and it's an insane movie. And just go in, watch it, have fun with it. It's good, man. It's really good. So just trust me, give it a chance, and I think you'll like it. With that said, let's jump into some spoilers. The opening of this movie was so good. And this is why I don't get why people were saying there's no lore here. That was literally the whole beginning of the movie. They told it in a storybook style, like drawn. And it was Winnie the Pooh. Christopher Robin left. And Winnie the Pooh and all his friends, they had no food. Christopher Robin used to come and bring them food and stuff. And they had no food left. So they were starving. And Winnie the Pooh came up with the idea that in order to survive, they needed to eat one of them. So they decided on Eeyore. And they ate Eeyore. And it changed them forever. And they hated Christopher Robin for it. And they promised to themselves that they will never speak again. And they returned. It scarred them. It scarred their minds, eating one of their best friends. And they returned back to their animalistic ways, because they are animals, right? So you have this whole lore in the background. And then the movie picks up with Christopher Robin and his fiance. Before he gets married, he's taking her to the 100 Acre Woods. And he's telling him about all his friends. And she's like, they were just imaginary. She doesn't really believe him. But at the same time, she supports him. She loves him. So she's going along with it. And they stumble upon the little clubhouse that Pooh and Piglet and all of them lived at, they played at, and things just go south from there. I thought this movie was going to be all Christopher Robin, but the way they set it up, it was like the way they set it up was they killed off the fiance right at the beginning, and it looked like they threw Christopher It just burned him alive, right? So you think, holy cow, they just killed off Christopher Robin and his fiance right off the bat. And what's the rest of the movie? But later on, you find out that Christopher Robin is still alive. He's being held captive by Pooh, and they play on your emotions because I mean, Winnie-the-Pooh is everybody's childhood favorite, right? He was my childhood favorite character, and you know that dynamic between Pooh and Christopher Robin. That's a strong dynamic there. So you get flashbacks of Christopher Robin as a little kid, and then you see Pooh, just tears coming down his eyes because he hates Christopher Robin so much for leaving, and he's doing all these horrible things to him, like the things he was doing. Here, okay, let me give you a glimpse of how gory and messed up this movie was. Okay, he killed Christopher Robin's fiance, and I think it was her body that they burned alive because Christopher Robin is literally hanging Dead by Daylight style. What kind of Dead by? They should add this Pooh to Dead by Daylight. Hanging from this hook, right? Like he's meat in those giant fridges where they hang the carcasses of meat, like on Rocky where he's punching the meat and whatnot. He's hanging on one of those things, and Pooh puts the burnt skeleton of his fiance next to him so that he can see it. And he's whipping. Oh, first off, he was whipping Christopher Robin with his hair, and then pours blood and guts all over his body through a shower. It's insane. These kills are gruesome. The things they do are gruesome. Tying people up, running people over with cars. Because Pooh and Piglet, they're not just they're like animal human hybrids. They're extra strong. They're just insane. They've gone insane, right? And so they do crazy things. The kills were insane, dude. There was one kill where they ripped this girl's shirt off, bashed her head in, and then shoved her head first into like this meat grinder or wood chipper or whatever. And they literally showed her head grinding and like the blood just come gushing out the other end. I mean, what more can I say? It's insane. And this is being done by Pooh and Piglet, your childhood favorites. So while Christopher Robin is being held captive, his fiance is burned up. It turns into a regular slasher movie in the sense that you have these group of girls who come to this place. One of the girls had issues with a stalker, and all the girls are helping her out, helping her get over it and all that stuff. And that's where a good chunk of the story takes place. The thing is, where these girls are going to go camp out, or they have this little house or whatever where they're staying at, is being built or has been built, and they're continuing to build in the 100 Acre Woods. So obviously Pooh, Piglet, they don't like that. They want them to get out. So they start killing off these people. They hate humans after what Christopher Robin did to them. They hate humans, and they're killing these girls off in the most savage way possible. And the thing is, Christopher Robin is still sort of the center of the story, even though he's not on screen much. It started off with Christopher Robin, and then a good chunk of the movie is with these girls, like I said. But then these girls meet up with Christopher, and he comes in, and there's a scene where where Christopher is pleading with Pooh on behalf of this one girl, like, let her go, take me. You want me? I'm the real, I'm the cause of all this. Take me instead. And Pooh just looked at Christopher Robin dead in the face and said, you left. Pooh slashed that girl's throat and tossed the girl at him. The girl is hugging Christopher Robin, blood gushing all over each other. He's crying, she's crying. Pooh is insane, man. And that's the thing. It's not just hey, we're just making some generic slasher movie with people in Winnie-the-Pooh and Piglet costumes, and that's just the gimmick. It's much more than that. Like I said, they focused on the lore. You really feel like this is Pooh and this is Piglet. In a way you do. Obviously, they don't look like Pooh and Piglet at all. I mean, they're messed up, and they, but like you feel sad for them. They're just not some evil, maniacal killers. You feel bad for the situation that they've been put in. They're hurt, which is why they did this. They didn't ask for this. It was genuinely good. It was really creative. Not only that, the cinematography was really good. I didn't mention that. They had some pretty creative shots in the movie. The only thing I didn't really like was, at the beginning, Pooh and Piglet promised, and all of the animals promised that they wouldn't speak ever again. And later on, you had this lady who said she heard Pooh and Piglet speak broken English. That didn't really make sense because they literally promised that they wouldn't, right? Also, she is the first person, well, other than Christopher Robin, to refer to them as Pooh and Piglet. Those girls that we talked about, she tells those girls their names are Pooh and Piglet and they speak this broken English. Like, who are you? I would have much rather had that come from Christopher Robin than this random girl. That was the only thing I didn't like about the movie. And you may find that to be minor. It probably is minor, but that just goes to show that this movie was pretty darn good, man. You guys should watch it. Don't let all the haters, all these negative reviews going around 2.9, 3%, whatever, all that stuff, sway you away from checking this out, because I know you guys were curious about checking this out. Winnie-the-Pooh horror movie? Yeah, you're definitely going to be curious about that. So don't let all the negative reviews sway you. It's worth a watch. It was definitely a fun watch. The kills are insane. It's a fun time. So go check out the movie, then come back here and let me know what you guys thought about it. If you have seen it, right now, go down to the comment sections and let me know what you guys thought about the movie. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a fun time. And that's going to be it for me. I'm looking forward to Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2. I'm looking forward to that movie universe. We talked about that in another video, in the previous video on this. Go check that one out if you haven't seen it. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.